Okay, sir, so what is love?
What is love? Love's a mystery. Love's a gift. Love's a blessing. Love is in my life. Love is an opportunity to grow, give, receive. It's what happens here. That's why I get to have this glamorous opportunity to sweep the floor that people are going to rest on, to have the experience of growing, learning, healing, transforming.
What is there to heal?
Well, most of the healing is from wounds that were frequently accidentally, sometimes absolutely cruelly administered in childhood. Most of us were wounded from the very first time we heard the word no, and then it gets worse from there. Sometimes parents need their children to raise them, and so I never got to be a child. Sometimes I was abused. Sometimes I was beaten. A lot of times I was ignored. And I then spend the rest of my life trying to find that thing I didn't get in childhood. In yoga, we go in and find those places where I buried those things I couldn't handle as a child, buried those places and those feelings I didn't have any knowledge of. I was helpless. I couldn't stop my parent from beating me. So what do? I have to come up with a different technique to stay alive. Or my parent's an alcoholic, and I got to learn how to please people all the time so I didn't get in the face of that rage. So that's what we have to heal. All those wounds from the past. All those beliefs about who I should be, so that we can eventually figure out who we really are and return to the more spiritual, beautiful, mystical, magical truth of ourselves as spiritual beings.
Is anything not spiritual about humans?
Not that I can tell. Not that I can tell. Feels like it most of the time, but I don't think it is. Anything but spirit manifesting through the challenges of being human.
Do you believe that within human lifetime, and for the definition of what human experience is, healing is possible, even?
Human is possible?
Healing.
Healing.
By definition of human experience.
Oh, is this a test?
What else?
Do I believe that healing is possible? I don't have much in terms of beliefs. I really don't have a lot of beliefs. It's not about what I believe. It's just what I feel called to do on a given day. I feel called to teach yoga every day.
Aren't we setting ourselves for failure, sir?
Well, yeah, we're going to die.
You and me.
We're going to die at the end of this thing, you know. So in that sense, yes, there's an ultimate failure, and that is the blessing. I make way for something new to come into the world. And what a great thing. Something had to get out of the way for me. Something gets eaten by me on a regular basis.
What are you afraid of, my love? What are you afraid of?
Well, I share the same fears most people do, that I'm going to somehow be alone, that there somehow won't be enough, that somehow I won't be enough, yeah. Somehow I will miss the point, that there's something going on I don't understand. I get there's a lot going on I don't understand, and in fact, one of the blessings of being almost a grown-up is I realize that I don't really even need to understand it. I just need to experience it, live it.
What is the most significant experience you're living through right now?
Well, I'm deeply engaged in a profound love.
Who that would be?
With you, that would be. And this is a pretty exciting experience, as you know. We're quite having a good time. The highest highs and some of the lowest lows. This is a big deal, and especially being in love with you.
I'm not apologizing for that.
Creates quite the experience, since you're red hot in every way, and you test and expand my limits every day in virtually every way. So it's a big, beautiful experience, and I thank you for for being here with it.
Are you going
In
to
it
blow
with
up
me.
like a balloon in your expanded state? What am I going to get then?
More love, more authenticity, more magic.
Tell me about magic.
It happens sometimes, and then other times it doesn't. I can ask for it, I can do rituals around it, I can trust that it's coming.
What
But
is
I have
magic
little or
then?
no control over it. What?
What is magic then?
What is magic? Magic is when nature shows up. When,
Isn't this
when
magic?
great mystery shows up.
I see that as magic. Look how
Yeah.
magical it is.
Look at the invention. Think of all the stuff that goes on every day that we take for granted that is indeed magic. One of the cool things about shamanism is everything's alive. This broom's alive. The floor's alive.
What does it mean for you to be alive?
What's it mean? Meaning. I can apply a bunch of meanings, but it's just my story. To
Give
me,
me
to me, it means I'm saving the world. I'm doing the right thing. I'm helping people. But that's just my own hallucination. I don't know that there's a whole lot of real meaning or purpose to life. There is a whole lot of possibilities for having the experience be more or less vivid based on what I choose to pay attention to around the experience. But the deep questions, I'm kind of smart enough not to try to solve those anymore. I just try to have the experience.
What is the biggest shock you have experienced? Or just maybe lately?
The biggest shock. The biggest shock.
And I mean
lately,
a shift of perception somewhere. Not just someone, I don't know, barked in your ear suddenly.
the biggest shift of perception lately is how much work was still to be done when we started our dance. I felt as though, as a fairly grown-up, I had done much of my work. And fundamental realizations have occurred to me around how much I have the same resistances I project on others. And Jung was right. The very thing I find most repugnant in others lives in me. And so the thing that bothered me a lot about others was the being a victim. Turns out it's true. I make myself a victim in ways I never would have experienced. And you help bring it out, damn you.
So what have you learned? So you think something really significant you've learned recently? What would that be? Anything worth sharing?
That you shouldn't fumble punt returns. The 49ers game proves that you shouldn't fumble punt returns. You don't get it, do you?
Speak Russian, please speak Russian.
You don't, so if you don't get that important, valuable lesson, I can't help you.
Okay, so tell me.
Well, the guy fumbled a punt return, cost him a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
What the heck it means?
Exactly. What did that mean? Why would he do something like that in the important game? And that was the championship game. Don't you get it? Yeah, these people from other countries, they don't understand the important things in life. You can love them, but you can't teach them.
We can learn from them.
There you go. That's kind of the dynamic, huh? Don't teach me, but you can learn.
Hey, it's been working so far. At least for me, for one of us.
Yeah. That was kind of fun. Apparently it's not over yet. You still here?
Yes. You want me to go? Make up your mind. Don't go.
All right, that's
Stay, go away.
That floor's pretty clean now. Let me see. There looks like a spot over here. Whoa! It's so slippery, a guy can hurt himself in here. Nope, that's not dirt. That's just a marred place. One tool away, another tool coming out. You ask good questions, Olga.
I haven't asked them yet.
Olenka, you've asked good questions.
Here's a better one. Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, you know, I wrote this down when I was in high school. I'm a human-based consciousness seeking to continually grow, learn, teach. How do I put it? Remake myself. So I wrote this in high school. I still have it written down somewhere. That's who I am.
Conceptually sounds good, but how do you know?
Oh, Jesus. Again, a test. How do I know?
How do you know?
I don't know anything.
But how do you
Heads
know
up,
who
you
you
get
are?
step in a wet spot.
I like that feeling. Reminds me of something.
Nice talk. How do I know?
I don't know what you meant.
How do I know who I am?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just answering your question. I don't know much at all. I do my best.
Is your best good enough?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Get out. I'll squirt your feet if you don't get back.
Go.
Get back. Get back.
Woo!
Here, I'm coming that way. Don't get in the way of the help. This is a union job. Get back.
I'm ready.
Get back. Get back. Yes. Get back. Get back. Get back. There you go. It worked. Is this how this? Are you a paparazzi? Is that what this is?
No, I'm spy. Remember, I'm Russian spy.
That's right.
Oh,
Okay.
I will
People need to know.
killed myself.
People need to know that Olga is here, and this whole relationship is one big mistake. She thinks I'm Obama. And she's trying to.
You saying you're not again and again?
I keep telling you, I'm not Obama. But you just keep asking. You keep doing what you can to try and get my secrets. You've been using some very good techniques to get my secrets.
Uh-huh.
And I've been telling you all the secrets too, haven't I? Every secret she asked for, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, but my people are not satisfied.
Do that again and I'll tell you another secret. Jeez. Does everybody have to do this when they're trying to work?
Oh, you call it work?
Does it work hard enough without all of the trouble I'm having to go through for it? Yes, I call this work. I do call this work.
But it just looks like you have too much fun for it to be called
I'm having a ball.
work.
I'm having a ball right now. All right, hold it still. Let me clean up this mark.
Are you afraid of death?
Afraid of it? No, I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of dying in a particularly gruesome, stupid, slow, painful way.
Is there any way that would be not stupid?
You're a pretty smart kid.
I just don't sound like it. With my questions.
No, those are hard, big deal questions. Is there any way that's not stupid? Well, there's a sort of a profound irony to living and then dying at the end. I love the other way of doing it. So we're born old and go back into the womb or something at the very end. And I suppose that's kind of the way to hold it, that I'm going back into the womb of nature or the womb of creation at the end of the process. That's a nice way to look at it. Still stupid.
Are you feeling you want to go home?
I feel home here. I feel home with you. I feel home. I kind of even feel home in Los Gatos. And, there aren't many people who look like me here, but I sure do think there are a lot of people who share spirit with me.
You mean not all tall, fit and sexy?
Yeah, not all tall black guys. I haven't seen a whole lot of tall, fit, sexy black guys here. I feel kind of home on the planet. I share easily that I didn't think I should have to come back for this incarnation. I thought I'd done a good enough job last time, and they blessed me with this incarnation. I'm actually having a pretty good life, I think. much better than most. I'm loved and semi-respected, and I'm having a great time, and I get to teach yoga for a living. Golly, you know, I get to be my own boss and teach yoga for a living. And
No, I'm your boss.
yeah, exactly. I just discovered that. And as
And you
tenuous
love
as,
it.
there are benefits, there are perks, knowing the boss as well as I do. There's some really good perks to that. And you know, it's hard. I mean, I'm trying to teach a kind of yoga that's about spirit and about transformation, and you know as well as I do, it requires a lot of bravery to keep stepping through fear, to transform, letting some old piece of myself die. I mean, almost every day you challenge me, push me, pull me, lead me, inspire me, and it hurts. It's really hard, and I'd rather be watching sports. And yet here we are, in the middle of a huge blessing, doll. In the middle of a huge blessing.
Can humans fundamentally be happy?
Oh, absolutely. The dumber you are, the easier it is. The dumber I am, the less I think I know, the easier it is for me to be happy. The less I'm trying to figure things out, the easier it is for me to be happy. The more I'm just serving myself and the world around me, the easier it is to be happy.
Can one serve when his ego is always, or her ego is always on the guard?
I think one can serve as best one can as they keep working on those kinds of things. You know, you don't know because I'm about to tell you, but this is an ongoing process. There is no final answer, as far as I can tell. There is no answer, as far as I can tell. And so this idea of trying to find an answer misses that the real experience is from walking from here to there, answering your question without being as concerned about getting it right as I am about what's it feel like to say it? How does it operate on the level of physical, mental, spiritual, psycho-spiritual? How does my energy body feel about it? How does the room feel about it? How is it in space? That's interesting. That's kind of fun. That's a big deal experience. Trying to be right about it, trying to get an answer about something, trying to look smart because this is going to be on tape. That's not much fun. You know, that's a bunch of fear.
How does it feel for you to be naked in relationships? And yes, I don't mean naked in that particular part of the house.
You know, I'm quick to try. I'm quick to try to be as authentic and naked as I can be. But then I've been doing a lot of work on myself. And I've had a public life that made me relatively naked. People
really
got into my business a lot early in my life. Oh, yeah.
Yes, but can you be really naked in politics, on television? Does it really mean naked? It's been exposed to a certain degree, but does it really mean open, vulnerable, authentic?
You know, I can only have you, you know, I'm not the one to answer that question. I know what I'm trying to do. I know what I'm attempting to be, and that is authentic, naked, vulnerable. My classes frequently are, at the end I say, thanks for the therapy, because I'm just busy saying exactly what's on my mind. I'm scary to some people because I'm so authentic.
What is on your mind right now? What's on your mind?
What's on my mind right now? How interesting this process is, how persistent. You know, you're a tough gal.
Bitch.
You know, you say bitch, I say biatch.
And you love it.
And I love it. This fire in you moves me, inspires me, turns me incredibly on, as you know. And it's...
I know.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I just knew.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And it's fun to play with you. I mean, this is an experience I would never have without your fire and your power. And I want to go here. I want to go to that vulnerable place, that uncomfortable place. All the good stuff happens when I'm pushed past my comfort zone, when I allow myself to be pushed past, because I'm letting you do this. You're not making me. And
No
so
way.
these are credit points to me, not her. Just want to get that straight. Get the score straight.
So what happens when my fire meets your water? What happens?
Steam. A lot of steam.
Tell me.
Big steam. People think lava's moving into the ocean. It's like the end of Hawaii. If you go down there and watch, I don't know which one, Kilauea, I guess, or is still active. And that's a big thing to see. Big old hunk of molten rock falling into the water, glowing all the way as it goes. That's pretty powerful stuff, and that's what's happening between you and me. Pretty powerful, glowing stuff.
What
Big
is
steam.
bringing in you?
What is whoing in me?
What is bringing up in you?
What is this bringing
What?
up in me?
Yeah.
What's coming up in me?
Yeah.
I'm healing old wounds. You know, there's that tarot card that we play, you know, the King of Cups in the Osho deck is healing. And they say all the wounds are coming up to the surface, ready to be healed. This is a time of healing for me. And I believe it's a time of moving into a destiny I've been waiting for a long time.
So what is next? What is next?
You know, in Tita, the thing we've created and our own continued work, I think today was a big deal around the fact that I think both of us have a lot of work to do around our fear. And keeping that work going, I believe, will both empower our work with others, but more fully allow me to, as I did today as we were doing the earlier taping, I stayed calm as I had the experience of your pushiness. And, you know, I judge it as pushiness. And I can frame it. You just want the best. Now, me over here trying to deliver to you and give a wonderful sort of performance that's good to talk to someone who's making a buying decision, it's a pretty challenging experience. And you went on for, as you were describing what to do in the next crisp take, you went on for 3 good minutes with do this and then say that. And make sure you say that, but say that in the order, and then say that right after that, and then do say that. And now, but make sure you do that way. But be faster. And could you be sexy and cute and crisp as you do it?
No, you're
really,
always sexy.
And then just do that. And now here's the other thing I want you to say. Say that and that and that and that. And I was standing there going, bitch, don't you know how hard this is? And because I promised, I said, I'm not going to take it as something against me. I'm going to take it as your love for me and us and our effort. And I'm going to just hold it. And instead of any reaction, I stayed until it felt okay. What did it take, 5 minutes maybe? At least while I stood there and processed, because I couldn't even come up with a first line. But I stayed in it. What the discomfort, the pain, the suffering of change and transformation is about for me is, can I stay in the fire, your fire, or the fire of my own emotions, long enough for this new thing to emerge? Or do I run back to my safe zone, anger is my defense, and push you away, it away, my own emergence away before it fully cooks? So I stood there. Normally in the past I probably would have started to sweat, then I wouldn't have been ready to take the take. That's another good excuse because my emotions would have been firing. But I made you a promise. And so I just stood in the fire and waited till you got bored and wondered, past your coming to try and console me with a hug, until something emerged. And then I'll be interested to see what that take looks like, because something true and honest emerged in that moment as something interesting. And I don't know, and I hope that take is good enough to use, because there was aliveness in that take, because there was something about my own past as a broadcaster that came up while I was doing that. That was something that was hard for me as a broadcaster, because my initial urge to respond often got in the way of my actually taking the time to gestate. And I remember being with Bryant Gumbel when he was doing some work for his station he was working for down in LA, and watching him go off for a while. Got really quiet, took his time, and when he came back, boom, he did the most beautiful ad-lib. Looked like he was just talking, and it was all about what we just talked about. The producer had said, do this, and then make sure you mention that, and do that, And I had a young man's attitude about it as I went through my broadcasting career. Plus I was stoned more often.